Hey guys, I'm Clint from WOOO. Welcome back to another Division 2 video. Firstly, if you enjoy the content, then please subscribe to the channel. If you want to see more Division 2 content like builds, like discussion videos, like me ranting like this video, then please drop a like because it helps me and the channel immensely grow and evolve. So thank you. Let's do this. Okay, I asked a question in my community tab on YouTube was, do we have an issue with vendor resets? Seems quite a strange, quite bizarre question to ask, but now's the time which I feel it's imperative to ask this because my phone has been going off crazy for the last 2 days regarding get myself to the vendor to buy God Roll chess piece. In fact, there's two. Clan level 14, clan level 30, there are two God Roll chess piece weapon damage. Buy lots of them, roll them onto your God build as it is, and you are laughing all the way to the bank. Now, if you haven't seen this, have you been under a rock? Have you been to the moon? Because to be honest, this is everywhere, and every content creator that I know of has put out a video saying, vendor reset, do this, do this, do this, and these people don't do vendor reset. So obviously this is God roll. Now, this has happened a few weeks back in terms of a backpack that rolled armor of 18.5%. You know, like everybody else, I bought a couple, as you do. So armor on there, and they had it was Gila Guards, it was 5% armor, and it also had the talent 10% armor through hardened. Crazy. It was a stupid backpack. In fact, I've got one now. I'll show you. But it's crazy, mental. And is this what I want to see in the game? There you go. Look, Gila Guard, 5% armor, 18.5% total armor, some health, weapon damage. Who cares? And then hardened 10% armor. So there's an issue. There is an issue for me. So I pose a question: do we have a problem in vendor resets? And I believe the answer is yes. Now, why should anyone who rarely plays the game or plays 4 hours a week wait for a vendor reset and pick up pieces that are not droppable? Simple as that. For the 350 or whatever hours I've put into the game so far, I have not seen a chess piece, weapon damage roll over 10%. I have not seen that at all. And then we're talking backpacks. I have not seen a backpack roll over 10% armor. And there's one here, 18.5% armor on a vendor reset that anyone can buy. It's not tied to a clan or any crap. It was a DZ drop. So this is the problem. Now, people who are in clans level 30 or level 10 or whatever, they're leaving their clans and joining an open clan, clan level 14, to get this, is it 14.5% whatever chess piece, or they're going to level 30 and picking this 13% one up, you know. And do I feel that's fair? Of course it isn't. Of course it isn't, because I was thinking about this. There should be a punishment. There should be some kind of process in place where if you leave your clan, you join another one, there is no cooling off period. You're in that clan for a period of time. And in the community tab, Sparks1505 did state there should be a 7-day call off. You cannot join another clan. You are tied to that clan for 7 days. I feel that would be a good start. I genuinely do, because they're another clan. It is what it is. Screw them. That's it. If you're going to leave your clan to join another clan, that should be part and parcel of the game. You shouldn't be able to just hop out of your clan, join another clan, then go to another clan, and then go to another, and so on, so on. That's just not right, in my opinion. There's a problem. So that's something I feel that needs rectifying. Clans. Then we'll talk about vendor resets, as we just discussed. Why is it these God rolls drop in? There was a D50 a couple of weeks back. D50, I've seen two in the game drop, and one I used for the Liberty pistol to break it down to get the exotic weapon. Now, they are rare as rocking or shit, so why put them in a vendor reset? And someone will say, RNG, the calculator, the machine that puts these through, you know, it would be like the lottery, so the balls all spinning around and someone grabs that piece and goes, there you go, D50. Ridiculous. It is ridiculous. it's a system that I feel that is rewarding for casual players. People who don't play very often can jump on, buy an 18.5% armor piece on your backpack, and instantly re-roll that, get onto one of your prime pieces, and you are laughing. You are producing a tank build. Great. You've got this armor, God roll armor, and just you wait for the chest piece. And again, this is the same. You just wait for vendor resets, because the vendor resets will give you God rolls. If you farm RNG and how it's shape and form, you will not get these pieces. You won't. And you think there's 16 brand sets. There are 6 gear sets. And you think of the combinations of getting the relevant roll and drops and gear and attributes. And I tell you, it's nigh on impossible. Again, I've seen many videos regarding the RNG in this game is ridiculous. It's broken to shit. And it is. It genuinely is. And I do have huge, deep concerns with the game evolving and growing because of how just stupid the system is. Now, I say 16 brand sets. And those 16 brand sets, you will have 3 different attributes on the brand set. And then you have roles that could vary from, again, utility, defensive, and offensive. Now, there's huge problems. Huge problems. If we just look down, we look at all the drops in terms of the amount of time. Again, the amount of time I've seen one China Light drop with Creeping Death. And again, I've spent 350 hours minimum in this game farming, and there's pieces that just don't drop. And these are just general, normal pieces of the game. So, the loot drops are ridiculous. RNG is just bizarre. And then you have vendor resets, which are so forgiving. They give casuals the chance to pick up these fantastically brilliant pieces that make your builds OP. So the guys, the veterans, the hardcore that play 40, 50 hours, they're in the same boat as the casuals. They'll have the same gear. This is what I don't understand. So you're rewarded for playing less. If you get me, if you follow me, is that just me? But I do feel there's a problem. I genuinely do. As I said, these rolls are stupid. And again, we've got that backpack. I've got hiding away down here. Let's take a butcher's. There you go. As you look, it's Gila Guard. So tell you what, we'll give you 5% armor. Then we'll give you 18.5% total armor. So that's 23.5%. And there's a bit of health as well. Obviously, that 1% weapon damage, you won't need that on the ropes. And then you harden. So let's just give you 33.5% armor on a backpack. That's mental. It is genuinely mental. And this is what I don't understand. Is again, I say, oh yes, it's just put in a system, and this system pushes out this gear, and it's completely random. It is, but why isn't it vetted? Why isn't it checked? Because something like that is ridiculous. Because I have seen dozens of YouTubers buy these backpacks, roll off that armor, put it onto a decently rolled armor backpack, and you are laughing. Then you've got 450k armor as a minimum. So there's an issue. There is a deep underlying issue, and this is why I feel that things need to change. Generally, they need to change because it's very hard, And is it the strategy of the devs to keep the casuals hook, line, and sinker, keep them there, but the veterans, they just keep pushing them back? And again, we know how awful PvP is. And if anyone wants to argue otherwise, then please comment below. I'd love to have a discussion about the clunkiness and the horrible feeling about how much you can build armor and how much damage you can do. Div 1, that was never the case. Never the case. If you were Nomad and you had 600k toughness, how much damage could you do? And the answer was not a lot. Regardless how you synergize your damage, you could do very, very little damage at all. But now, if you're going to synergize, you're going to go all defensive, you can still be rewarded by 15% extra damage from compensated. So there's so many more options, and the way I feel the game is in a place where the armor, the DPS is all over the shop, and I do think they're quite lost in the mechanics of building. They've gone down a route which I do not understand, genuinely do not understand, and this is why I feel that skills coming into Title Update 5 will help. Yes, it will help. It will bring people away from building crap like this, in all honesty, and it will give people a chance to experiment with some really cool and bananas builds that shouldn't work, but they do. So it'll bring back that diversity, in my opinion. I think it will bring a couple of players back, and especially I know skill build players from Div 1 play Div 2 and go, it doesn't feel the same. It just doesn't feel the same, and they've gone back to Div 1. And they're playing content, they're doing incursions and missions, and it's crazy, it genuinely is. So getting the buff on Tuesday will help, yes. But I still feel there's a huge underlying issue with RNG, and vendor resets is a big, big problem. And that leads on to the next problem. Is RNG is a disgrace, in my opinion. To get the perfect roll is 0.0001%. And then the stash base. Again, this is something that is just out of control. It is very difficult to ascertain on the average gamer's perception of loot is what is good. And we all know in Div 1 you could differentiate between good and bad. You could see by the roll, you could see by the talent, and you could see by the gear set. And this is irrelevant. It just throws everything else out the window. It's just a mess. So I have issues. I have long-term issues with the longevity of the game. I do. And that's because of how the loot system works, the RNG mechanics, and then the vendor resets that reward people who don't put time and effort into the game. And that just puts it on the back burner for people who do play the game a lot of the time feel, and they just, what's the point? There's very little point, you know. But anyway, enough of me ranting. I don't want to stand here and rant and complain much longer, because that's not who I'm about, and not what I enjoy doing. But I do want my opinion heard, because I'm frustrated, highly frustrated, and by the sound of it, sentiments are shared throughout the community. So RNG needs fixing, vendor resets, they need toning down, and in terms of stash base, Jesus Christ, if you haven't got a full stash and a shed load of loot, and your deliveries from your DZ drops are not full, then you've got a problem, you know, because I have. And again, it's so difficult, because it was like, that's got one good roll in it, or that's got another good roll in it, and that tends to be the basic consensus of drops. It's got one decent attribute, so I keep it. So you're left with about 150 pieces of loot. You go, but it's got that's decent on it. And then you have another problem. Yes, it just keeps growing. You go back to materials and resources. So when you go, I'll tell you what, I'll roll this for that. There's huge caps on the problem of recalibration through resources and materials, because you don't have enough. Simple as that. You know, you can maybe scrape one, and then you've got none at all. So you have to go and farm for credits. Then you'd farm for electronics, titanium, ceramics, so on. And it just seems, it's like the developers, what they wanted you to do in this game is just continually grind, go in that merry-go-round to find a build that you think is great, and then what they do in the next patch, they tweak the whole system. So it ends out that this build you grinded for weeks and weeks, and you've got it looking pretty sharp. Next update, it's broken. So then the vicious circle starts again. And again, I get that is the kind of looter-shooter mechanic. But how many times can this keep happening before the community say, enough's enough? I'm going to play Borderlands. Because Borderlands is just around the corner, and I feel that if they don't fix this problem, or problems, should I say, then they will lose a huge chunk of the player base, back to Div 1 for PvP for sure, or they will lose into Borderlands, which is looking very, very nice. So guys, let me know what you think. Drop a comment below. I'm keen to read your opinions, but I feel there are problems ahead if they don't start fixing, and fixing soon. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, drop a like. If you want to see more Div content, smash the button. See you in the next one.